1. To blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord. 2. To consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of the Lord Vishnu. 3. To disobey the orders of the spiritual master. 4. To blaspheme the Vedic scriptures or scriptures in pursuance to the Vedic version. 5. To consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination. 6. To give some interpretation to the holy name of the Lord. 7. To commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. 8. To consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in Vedas as fruitive activities, Karma Kanda. 9. To instruct a faithful person about the glories of the holy name. 10. To not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be Vaishnava must guard against these offenses. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to achieve the desired success of Krishna Prema. Hare Krishna. Once again, I thank everyone for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call today. Let us move to our next session, which is SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM class today. May I know who all have joined the call this morning? Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण पद्मा माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम शिला प्रभुपाद की जय गुरु महाराज की जय प्रीति दासी हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna, Priti Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for joining the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna Padma Mataji Danvat Pranam Algo Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. This is Radha Pyari Devidasi from Baltimore.
Hare Krishna, Radha Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for joining the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Padma Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Virita Gandharvika Devadasi from College Station, Texas. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for joining the call, Mataji. Thank you for wonderful services, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Hare Bol.
Thank you, Mataji, for your services.
Mataji, do we need to read introduction from Mataji today? Or
If you kept it ready, you can read it, Mataji. Otherwise,
Oh,
we can skip it. That's
yeah.
fine. We can skip it.
It's not here.
Krishna Padmavaji, please respect my humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. All glories to Prabhupada, all glories to Ashramalioti. This is Mohini Lakshmi from Detroit.
Hare Krishna, Mohini Lakshmi Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for joining the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Padma Mataji, O Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaji. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devidasi from Rani. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for joining the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Hare Bol. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Padma Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. My humble obeisances to all the assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Sundarangi Radha Devidasi from India. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Sundarangi Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for joining the call, Mataji. Hare Bol. Hare Krishna. you devotees. Anybody else who would like to introduce yourself? Okay.
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Rama
Hare
Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare
Okay,
Krishna.
Prabhuji said he's joining. We might join in any minute. Yeah.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna Krishna. You want to start the recording, Mataji? We will wait.
Yeah, you want to announce the speaker name and everything.
Yeah.
Let me on that.
Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Today we are very fortunate to have Haridas Thakur Prabhuji for enlightening us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, 8th canto, 22 chapter, 4th verse. 4. Hare Krishna, thank you. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for giving your valuable time and association this morning for enlightening us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is 8th canto, 22nd chapter, 4th verse. Whenever you are ready, please take out the call, Prabhu. Hari Bol.
Yes, share the words that is to be discussed today. Hare Krishna. I hope my screen is visible now.
Yes, Prabhuji, we can see that.
Prabhu, we
Thank
can
you so
see, Prabhu.
much.
Thank you, Prabhu.
My humble obeisances unto Lotus feet of Goddess. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नश्च प्रायेषु अवत्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी. So this is fourth verse of 22nd chapter in 8th canto. पुंसां श्लाघितं वन्दे दण्डमर्हतमाम् अर्पितं यं न माता पिता भ्राता सुहृदाश्चिदंसतिः पुंसां श्लाघितमं मन्ये दण्डम् अहृतमार्पितं यं न माता पिता भ्राता सुहृदाश्चिदसन्तिः पुंसां श्लाघितमं मन्ये दण्डमर्हतमार्पितं यं न माता पिता भ्राता सुहृदश्चादिशन्तिः. The translation and purport by His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Although a father, mother, brother, or friend may sometimes punish one as a well-wisher, they never punish their subordinate like this. But because you are the most merciful Lord, I regard the punishment you have given me as most exalted. Purport. Punishment meted out by the Supreme Personality of Godhead is accepted by the devotee as the greatest mercy. तत्ते अनुकंपाम सुसमीक्षमानो भंजान एव आत्मकृतं विपाकम विद्वाग विपहि विधर नमस्ते जीवे तया मुक्ति पदेश दायभाग. One who seeks your compassion and thus tolerates all kind of adverse conditions due to their karma of his past deeds, who engages always in your devotional service with his mind, words, and body, and who always offers obeisances to you is certainly a bona fide candidate for liberation. Bhagavatam 10:14-8. A devotee knows that so-called punishment by the Supreme Personality of Godhead is only his favor to correct his devotee and bring him to the right path. Therefore, the punishment awarded by the Supreme Personality of Godhead cannot be compared to even the greatest benefit awarded by one's material father, mother, brother, or friend. Jai Shri Prabhupada. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurnamilintame Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयंरूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितान् हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमस्ते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरि वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभिः कृपा सिन्धुमेव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयति गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यईश्वरं नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे Hare Krishna. So, as we see from the previous chapters, that Lord Vamandev begged for 3 steps of land from Bali Maharaj, and Bali Maharaj agreed for that. Just when Bali Maharaj was about to take sankalpa to gift or to give in charity this land to Lord Vaman, the very moment Sukracharya knew everything, and Sukracharya intervened. Yes, sir. Sukracharya intervened, and Sukracharya gave many reasons as when and why in all what situations a person can speak lie to protect his property, protect his life, or in the cases of marriage or in the case of business, one can speak lie. But despite all those arguments by his spiritual master, Bali Maharaj was determined and he gave many reasons. Bali Maharaj thought that in the form of death, Lord takes away everything from him, and a person lives in the form of his fame only. And if the death will take away everything from him, then why not to give everything while he's alive and thus become famous and become and thus becoming immortal? And Bali Maharaj told Sukracharya that even if it is Lord Vishnu, and because of fear, he is now in the form of a daft Brahmin, and even if he's trying to cheat me, but I will not, you know, I will not go back from my given promise. In any case, I stand for my promise and words I have given. Displeased Sukracharya cursed Bali Maharaj. एवं असत्यम शिष्यम अनादेश करम गुरुम शशाप देवृत्तम सत्य संधम मनुष्यनम. This way, Sukracharya, who was inspired by the Supreme Lord in his heart, he cursed his disciple, that is Bali Maharaj, who was determined to uphold the principle of truth. Vindhyavali, the wife of Bali Maharaj, came, and Bali Maharaj washed the feet of the Lord. And as we hear forward, then Lord measured the 2 steps of land. In one step, he covered the whole Bhumandala, and by his body, he's covered all the directions and the sky. And by the second step, he covered the upper planetary systems. And this way, whatever Bali Maharaj had in his possession, everything was taken by Lord Vamandev in 2 steps only. Lord's lotus feet, it reached the Brahmaloka, and the illumination or the light in the Brahmaloka, it all, got shadowed by the effulgence of Lord's, nail of Lord's lotus feet. And there, Brahmaji as well as Jaman, he also, was the feet of the Lord. And that water which was the lotus feet of Lord Vamandev is flowing as Ganges in this material world, as we know. So this way, when everything was taken away from Bali Maharaj, the demons who were associated of Bali Maharaj, they became very angry, and they took weapons against Lord Vishnu, but they were immediately defeated by Lord Vishnu's associates. The demons took up their weapons and started fighting against Vishnu and the associate of the Lord Vishnu, despite being forbidden by Bali Maharaj. When these demons were taking up their weapons, Bali Maharaj was forbidding them not to fight, to keep quiet, to maintain peace. But they were defeated, and Bali Maharaj asked them to go to Patal Loka, because now all the Bhumandala as well as the upper planetary system, they had been taken away by the Lord Vamandev. Therefore, Bali Maharaj asked his followers to go to Patal Lok. And they went there. Understanding what Lord Vishnu wants, Garud Dev, he bound Bali Maharaj in the Varuna Pass. Varuna Pass is a very powerful weapon, which Lord uses to bind his enemies. The same Varun Pass was being used by Lord Balram when he was trying to, bind Jarasandh in the war. So in the same Varun Pass, Lord Vamandev bound Bali Maharaj. And in this helpless situation, when Bali Maharaj is bound, Sukhdev Goswami is speaking that Tambaddham Varunai Pase Bhagwan Ahvamana Nast Sriya Istir Pragam Udar Ishishamnar. Thus binding Bali Maharaj this way, am I out of meeting? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji?
Oh, I am, just a minute. I'm not able to see the screen.
Yeah, a screen has stopped.
I hope it is visible now, Mataji.
Prabhuji, but we are seeing something else instead of...
Now?
Now there is no share screen, but we can see you and hear you clearly.
Okay, that's all. Fine, thank you. So, this way, Bali Maharaj, having been bound by Varuna Pass, now Lord Balaram is speaking to Bali Maharaj. Tam Baddham Varunai Pasai Bhagwan Ahabamana Nast Sriyam. To which Bali Maharaj, whose bodily luster has been lost, Istir Pragam. That Bali Maharaj who is still determined to uphold the principle of truthfulness. Udar Yashisham, the most celebrated and most magnanimous King Bali. To him, Vaman Dev started speaking like this. Padani Trin Gatnani Bhumi Maya Taya Masar. Dvabhyam kranta mahi sarva tritiya upkalpaya. O King Bali, you promised to give me 3 steps of land. Padani trini dittani bhumi mahiyataya asur. But in your presence only, I have measured Dvabhyam kranta mahi sarva. I have measured the whole land in your possession just in 2 steps. Please arrange for third step of land. And Lord continues, Yavat tapati asau gobi yavat into sevdubi, yavat barsit parjanyo tavati bhumam tava. As long as the sunlight goes, as long as the moon shines along with the stars in the sky, and as far as Indra pours the rain, that long this land belongs to you. Tavati bhumam tav. That long this land belongs to you. But in your presence only, what I have done, pada ekin maya kranta bhurlok kam distano. In one step, I have measured the complete bhumandala, kam distano, and by my body, I have covered all the directions as well as the sky. Swarga lok te dutiyana. By second step, I have measured the upper planetary system, Pasyatate Swayam Atmana, just in your presence only. So where from are you going to give me the third step of land? Since you are going to fail, or you have failed to give me 3 steps of land as you have promised, therefore you will have to dwell in hell for some time. According to instructions of your special master Sukracharya, you must now go to hell and stay there for some time. So Sukracharya has in fact warned Bali Maharaj that if you will not be able to keep your promise, keep your word to Vaman Dev, you will have to go to hell. So the same thing Vaman Dev is telling Bali Maharaj. As your spiritual master told you, now you have to go to hell because you haven't been able to keep your promise. In this chapter, Sukdev Goswami says that superficially it looks as if Lord Vaman is harassing Bali Maharaj and he is mistreating or ill-treating Bali Maharaj. But actually, Bali Maharaj was being shown a very special favor by the Lord because Bali Maharaj was determined, very much determined to uphold his given promise, to uphold the principle of truthness. And thinking that Bali Maharaj has not been able to keep his word, Bali Maharaj speaks to Lord Vamandev like this in the second verse. Yaduttam slok bhavan mam iritam बचो बेलीकम सुरवर मन्यते करो में ऋतप ततन भवेत प्रलंबनम पदम तृतीयम कुर्सीस में रजम. Here Bali Maharaj is addressing Lord as Uttam Slok. Uttam Slok means the Lord who is glorified by the choicest poetry. But Bali Maharaj is using this word in a joking way in the sense because Lord is seemingly using unfair means of cheating to take away everything from Bali Maharaj. Therefore, Bali Maharaj is saying, Ed Uttam Slok, O you the Lord, who is glorified by the choices of the poetry, Bhavan Mamiritam, Bacho Belikam, Survad Manate, you who is the most worshipped or best of the worshipables, if you think that I have not been able to keep my promise of giving you 3 steps of land, I will make such arrangement that that promise does not become false. It becomes true. What you can do, you can place your third step on my head. Now somebody may say that Lord, measured the entire, you know, Bhumandala as well as the upper planetary system just in 2 steps. Then how can, Bali Maharaj's head be enough for the third step? Prabhupada writes, the possessor of the bells is more powerful or is more valuable than the bells itself. So now that everything has been taken away from Bali Maharaj's head is even more, valuable, or let's say, it's more valuable than what Bali Maharaj has lost so far. One thing. Second thing, a person's body is a different field. is a separate field, it is separate possession, separate property than what he possesses. Idam Chetram. This word in Bhagavad Gita, Lord says, Chetragyam chap mam vedi sarva chetresu bharata, chetra chetra gayo jnanam yattat jnanamatam. I am the knower of all the fields of activity, and this body is the field of activity of individual soul. But the individual soul is the knower of an individual body. This way, the individual soul is the proprietor of an individual body. From this logic, Bali Maharaj is a possessor of his body, and this is different from what he was possessing. This is different from what Lord Vaman Dev has taken away from Bali Maharaj. Therefore, Bali Maharaj still can give his head, and this is the complete surrender of Bali Maharaj. When Bali Maharaj says like this is the complete surrender. Now we can see there's certain many interesting things that we can see in this verse. Bali Maharaj thought that Lord will become, glorified because of a becoming a pretentious beggar. Lord is becoming a beggar who's acting in a pretentious way. How? Because as we heard in the last chapters, when Bali Maharaj asked Vamandev to ask for more, to beg for more land than 3 steps, that becomes sufficient for his, life. There, Vamandev gave a good lesson to Bali Maharaj about satisfaction for a Brahmin. And what did Vamandev say there? Yavanta visaya prestha trilokam ajitendriyam na shaknuvanti te sarve pratpuritam nirp. O King Bali, whatever objects of sense gratification exist in the entire creation, they cannot be sufficient for a person who is ajitindriya, who has not been able to control his senses. For him, the sense objects in the entire creation will be insufficient. Idraksha, idraksha lav tustena, tustase, tej viprasya bardhate, tat prasamyati santosat ambasar vasushani. There, Vamandev is telling that a Brahmin who is satisfied by his, natural benefit, whatever comes, out of uh, his prarabdha, whatever comes, and if a Brahmin is satisfied with that, then his spiritual potency increases. And if a Brahmin is not satisfied, then his spiritual potency goes down, just as a fire, is extinguished by pouring of water on this. And then Vamandev says there, Idraksha Upanen Santusta Vartate Sukham Na Asantusta Trivilokai Ajita Atma Upsadite. For a person who is satisfied, whatever comes on his own, for such a person there is happiness everywhere. But for a person who is Ajita Atmana, who has not been able to control his mind and the senses, even the property of the entire creation or the 3 planetary systems will not be sufficient. Na santusta trivi loki upasa Ajita Atma upsaditi. So this lecture, this seminar on satisfaction was given by Lord Vaman Dev to Bali Maharaj in the previous chapter. Now the same Vaman Dev is not showing satisfaction, because if he was satisfied, then he should have measured the 3 stops of land by his normal size. He came in the form of a dwarf Brahman, a very small Brahman. He should have measured 3 stops of land there if he was satisfied. But here, Lord Vaman Dev is showing, showing dissatisfaction, or he's cheating Bali Maharaj. So Bali Maharaj is thinking that, oh, Tamslok, you will become now famous. Bali Maharaj is indicating that Lord will become famous for begging in a pretentious way and for cheating in a very wonderful way. First, Lord gave a seminar lecture to Bali Maharaj on the satisfaction, and he himself is a brahmachari Brahman, and he himself is showing dissatisfaction. He himself is showing greed, which is not suitable for a Brahman. And he is increasing his size and taking away everything. So there, Bali Maharaj thinks that now Lord is going to become very famous for this thing. Lord, whatever he does, he becomes famous for this thing. Whether he steals or he cheats or uh, he flees away from the battlefield, whatever he does, he becomes famous. Here, clearly, he is cheating. He is going to be a truthful cheater. Cheating is not possible without being, without speaking false. Cheating is not possible. But Lord Vamandev, as Lord, he is 100% supreme truth, absolute truth. And here he is going to cheat Bali Maharaj in truthful ways. He is going to, so a truthful Lord is cheating Bali Maharaj. First thing. Second thing, Bali Maharaj thought that Lord is going to be the very famous person because he is the wealthiest beggar. A person who is, served by so many Lakshmis, still he is going to beg. So Bali Maharaj thought Lord is going to be very, very famous now as a wealthiest beggar. And the Lord is going to be famous for his disgraceful acts because Bali Maharaj was harassed, tormented, and bound in the Barun Pass despite everything having been taken away from the Lord. So Bali Maharaj is thinking that Lord is going to be, famous for his disgraceful acts also. And Bali Maharaj is seeing that Lord never fails to glorify his devotees. So these are going to be very wonderful ways of glorifying Bali Maharaj. He knows this thing because Lord never disgraces his devotees. Lord always tries to glorify his devotees, but his ways of glorifying the devotees are very wonderful, as we know. See, Bali Maharaj was in a way was not shown favor, but Lord was acting on behalf of the Indra and the demigods. Lord had taken side of Indra and the demigods. And Indra and the demigods, they are not pure devotees. They are mixed devotees. So here, though it is expected from the Lord that Lord will take side of a pure devotee, but here the Lord is taking the side of his mixed devotees. Those devotees like demigods, like Indra, who are not pure, they are mixed devotees, but Lord is taking side of his mixed devotees, which is not expected from the Lord. But whatever Lord does is glorious. Second thing, Lord Vaman Dev, though he is taking side of Indra, but actually he is bestowing his good favor to Bali Maharaj. How? Lord is going to take the, you know, possessions of land from Bali Maharaj is now going to give it to Indra. And simply this much only Lord is going to give to Indra. But what Lord is going to give to Bali Maharaj? Himself. Lord is going to give himself to Bali Maharaj. Lord is taking all possessions of Bali Maharaj. And then as we will see in the coming verses and chapter, that Lord is going to give himself to Bali Maharaj when he asks Bali Maharaj to go to Sudal Loka. Because there he Lord says that I will be available for you 24 hours. You will always be able to see me, have my darshan. I will always be ready to protect you in every way. My dish darshan chakra will always be there. And if the rulers of other planets they try to overpower you, or if the demons they try to transgress your rules, my Sudarshan chakra is going to kill them. There will be no demonic effect in your Sutal Loka. Lord is going to tell this to Bali Maharaj in coming chapters, coming verses. So this way, Lord is showing a very wonderful way of glorifying his devotee, Bali Maharaj. He is in fact cheating Bali Maharaj, but going to give even himself to Bali Maharaj. He is in fact in a way showing favor to Indra and the demigods, but actually he is not showing the actual favor to Indra and the demigods. He is showing actual favor to Bali Maharaj, whom Lord is going to give himself even. Lord is going to become as a very big cheater, as a wealthiest beggar. Lord is going to be famous as a truthful cheater. So, and Bali Maharaj understood this thing. So Bali Maharaj was taking in this, understanding the Lord's purpose of glorifying his devotees by apparently cheating him. Whether the Lord cheats or rewards, He is always good to all. Just as we say, when sages and rishis they give benediction to someone, they are obviously good. But even the curses and reverses of sages and rishis, as we see in the case of Deval Rishi, in the case of Narad Rishi, in the case of Agast Rishi, that they also become, the curses also become benedictions. Like Indradum and like this Gajendra, they were cursed by these sages, but they also got the favor of the Lord. So similarly, the cheating of the Lord is also beneficial to the devotee and to Bali Maharaj here, as we can see. The Lord cannot allow his devotees to promise turn false. Bali Maharaj also knows one thing, that though he apparently has been unable to fulfill, or he hasn't been able to give third step of land, but Bali Maharaj is very confident and sure about this thing, that Lord never lets his devotees promise fail down. Lord in any case arrange some situation. Bali Maharaj knows this thing, because a person becomes devotee by glorifying the Lord. And Lord says, Yathamam prapadyante tam tate bhajamyam mam vartman vardante manusya par sarvasa. The way one comes to me, the very way I reward to him, I reciprocate to him. So one becomes devotee by glorifying the Lord. Then why will the Lord fail to glorify a devotee? So in any case, Lord will always glorify a devotee. He will arrange for glorification of the devotee. So Bali Maharaj knows this thing. But Bali Maharaj says this thing. In the third verse, Bali Maharaj says, I do not fear living in the hell. And I do not fear falling from my position. I do not fear of being arrested. I do not fear of suffering with unbearable calamity. I do not fear the difficulties of poverty or being punished by you, my Lord, but I fear from being, defamed. I fear, I fear the most from being defamed. Asadu Badat. Their Lord is saying like this. And in this verse, the Lord is saying, this verse 4, the Lord, his punishment is for spiritual benefit. And here, Bali Maharaj is saying, although a father, mother, brother, or friend may sometimes punish one as a well-wisher, they never punish their subordinate like this. But because you are the most merciful Lord, I regard the punishment you have given me as most exalted. Bali Maharaj is giving an argument here that the well-wishers of a person in the material world are his parents. And father or mother or even brother or sometimes even friends, as well-wishers, they punish a person. But Vali Maharaj is saying you are the ever well-wisher of all living entities. What you also can punish and you are punishing, but your punishing is simply is very, very different and wonderful. Like parents do punish, but not this way. Bali Maharaj is saying. Friends may punish, but not this way. Brother may punish, but not this way, the way you are. But since you are the most exalted personality, your all acts are wonderful. So therefore, this may be some unique favor unto me. Bali Maharaj is simply praying like this. Prabhupada writes, punishment meted out by the Supreme Personality of Godhead is accepted by the devotee as the greatest mercy. This verse, Tatya Anukampam Susamikshamano, this verse is spoken by Brahmaji. When Brahmaji, he stole calves and cowherd boys from Krishna, and when Brahma saw everything was going on as usual, then Brahma realized his mistake and he begged pardon from the Lord. And there Brahma is saying that Tatya Anukampam Samikshamano Bhunjan Ev Atma Kritam Vipakam. One who is seeking your compassion and thus tolerates all kind of adverse conditions due to the karma of his past deeds. One simply remains, hopeful of your mercy, and whatever suffering comes in his life, he thinks as the, result of his own misdeeds in previous life, and thus remains tolerant and always bows down before the Lord by his body, by his, words, and always offers obeisance, such a person becomes a bona fide candidate for liberation. Such a person has the right on the liberation just as a son has the right on the property of his father after father's death. Dai Bhag. Dai Bhag means the property of fathers. See, we can see one thing. Lord always gives suffering, sometimes directly, sometimes indirectly. Like here, Bali Maharaj is being, harassed directly by the Lord to show a special favor. But Lord also in the material creation, all the living beings are always harassed by the Lord, but indirectly. कृष्ण भूल से जीव अनादि बहिर्मुख अतएव माया ताहे देह संसार दुख. Those living beings who have forgotten Krishna, they become, extrovert, and they seek pleasure out of themselves, and therefore Maya, that is the illusory energy of Krishna, it gives them suffering. Maya mukta jeev nahi swate Krishna gyan. Those beings who are under influence of Maya, they cannot understand position of Krishna on their own. Jiver kripay kela Krishna Veda Puran. To say special mercy on the conditioned soul, Krishna created the Vedic literature like Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, the Vedas, all this. So Lord, in a way, is punishing all the living beings in the material world through the external potency. The purpose is only simple one thing, that they become surrendered to Krishna. Bali Maharaj, he was, punished by the Lord directly because Bali Maharaj, uh, he was going to surrender everything, and the Lord was going to show it to the, demigods as well as the demons, that how magnanimous and how, you know, liberal is Bali Maharaj, that he is going to, you know, even defy the words or instructions of his spiritual masters. He is not going to even clear for his spiritual master. He is such a person who is determined to fulfill the, principle of religion or principle of truthfulness or keeping his promise. Even in the presence of his spiritual master, Lord is going to show this thing. Bali Maharaj, he had been, he became bereft of all possessions. He was deserted by his relatives. He was rebuked by his spiritual master, and he was cursed by his spiritual master. And he was suffering in the bound of the Varuna Pass. But despite all these things, Bali Maharaj was not at all feeling the suffering. He was still determined on his promise of giving 3 steps of land to Vamandev. And this way, Bali Maharaj had become the most magnanimous, the most celebrated, the most famous devotee of the Lord. When we read about Navada Bhakti, then there are various personalities and devotees who became famous or who attained perfection in the 9 steps, 9 limbs of Navada Bhakti. But it is Bali Maharaj who who became, you know, who attained perfection in the surrender, in the Atma Nivedan to the Lord. He surrendered everything. Whatever he had in his possession, he gave it to the Lord, and he even surrendered himself to him. And this complete surrender of the Lord, you know, the Lord reciprocates by giving himself. Lord, as a reciprocation, gave himself to Bali Maharaj in the Sutal Loka. In Chatusloki Bhagavatam, we read that Rite Artham Yat Pratyet Na Pratyet Chatmani Tadvidyat Atmano Mayam Itha Vasuyathatama. The Lord is speaking to Brahmaji, the Chatusloki Bhagavat, that the Bhagavat in the 4 slokas. There, Lord says that in this material creation, if you think there is something which is devoid of me, which is not connected with me, which is of which I am not the proprietor, of which I am not the owner, that very thing becomes Maya. The name of the Maya is that object or person whom we think not as property of Krishna. When we think something devoid of Krishna, away from Krishna, not belonging to Krishna, then we try to own this, attain this. And when we try to own this, attain this, then we try to enjoy this. And that becomes the Maya. So that very person or that very portion of the three creation which we think is not connected with Krishna is Maya, and that which we want to enjoy gives us problem. It gives us suffering. This is the nature of the Maya. So, Ataiva Maya Tahe De Sansar Dukh. So here Bali Maharaj, he had whatever he has in his possession. As long as he thought that I am possessor of this thing, he actually became a victim of this thing. But then when he agreed to give everything, whatever he had in his possession to Vamandev, then he became glorified for this thing. So Prapinch Katya, there is a verse by Rup Goswami in Lecture of Devotion which says, Prapinch Katya Harivastu Sambandhana, Nirvanda Krishna Sambandhe, Yuktam Vairagyam Uchate. Rup Goswami talks about Yukta Vairagya, where he says that if somebody thinks that something in his material creation is problematic and he gives up, then this is not the right way of renunciation. But if somebody thinks that anything that he has is property of Krishna and thus engages everything in the service of Krishna, then that is Yukta Vairagya. So this way, Bali Maharaj, whatever he had, he gave to Krishna, he gave to Lord Vamandev, and thus he became very famous, and he became the most magnanimous and most celebrated. This is what we can understand from this verse. Thank you all very much. If there is any question or comments, we kindly make it.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you so much for wonderful class, Prabhu. Dear devotees, if you have any questions or any realizations, please go ahead, Prabhu. Go ahead, devotees. I don't see any raised hands. Oh, I see Radha Chachi Mataji has raised her hand. Mataji, please go ahead, Mataji. Hold on. Let's see if she's unmuted.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna.
Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances at dust of the lotus feet. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. There was a time when Bali Maharaj was not having his spiritual master, and he was in the transition of surrender, and he had no idea what Lord is going to do with him, and he knew that he'll be tested, or he is in the process of testing. So what holded him to keep a strong faith, or what qualities did he possess that he, despite of his spiritual master cursed him, he went on alone towards Lord? So what made him to trust himself in that process of transition? Hare Krishna.
Yeah, that was Bali Maharaj's, truthfulness. Like there he gave many arguments to Sukracharya. And Bali Maharaj was thinking in the righteous way, that is, he was saying that as death, Lord will take away everything. And if by giving up our possessions, if one becomes famous, then by fame a person lives here. Bali Maharaj is actually a Kshatriya. He is a king now. And Kshatriyas have a lot of passion. So this passion of Bali Maharaj was holding him, because Kshatriyas want to become very famous. They want name and fame. So one of the arguments that Bali Maharaj was thinking was this, that why not to become famous by giving up everything when Lord is going to take everything at the time of death, in the form of death, and a person lives only in the form of his name and fame only after his death. So why not to give up everything? This was one of the logic that Bali Maharaj was giving. So as a Kshatriya, he had a lot of passion also in himself. So this is one of the argument he was giving, Mataji.
But Prabhuji, Bali Maharaj is one of the Mahajans, so how come he is thinking about becoming famous? This is a contradiction, right?
This is
If
he see Mataji, what happened? There are many arguments that Bali Maharaj gave to Shukracharya. One of the argument that he gave was this also, and other argument that he gave was this also, that he said that I'm not afraid of being transported to hellish planets. I'm not afraid of falling down from my position. I'm not afraid of becoming a very poverty ridden person, but I'm afraid of fulfilling my promise. A kshatriya, a kshatriya is known for his charity as a passion. The qualities of a kshatriya are शौर्यम तेजो धृतदाक्ष्यम युद्धे चापपलायनम दानम ईश्वर भावस्य. Danam, a kshatriya, is also known for his charity. Like Karna, as a kshatriya, he was very famous for charity. There was a king Nahus in the Ichhak dynasty. He was also very famous for a charity. So kshatriyas are known for their charity. So as a kshatriya, this is also out of passion that is coming. Bali Maharaj, after he surrendered everything to the Lord, he became so glorious, so magnanimous, so celebrated that he is known as now one of the Mahajans. Bali Maharaj was not known as a Mahajan before that. Mataji. Bali Maharaj became Mahajan only due to his complete surrender to the Lord. He is recognized as a Mahajan because he knows the principle of religion. Mahajans means those who know the principle of the religion. And he has been able to uphold the principle of truthfulness and religion even in the most challenging situation. Such a person is actually a Mahajan.
so, Prabhuji, please correct me. He is a Kshatriya and he is doing bhakti, which is as per his qualities, and he is a pure devotee. Is my understanding correct?
See again, Mataji.
He is a Kshatriya and he is doing his devotional services, and though he is in passion mode, doing everything in passion mode, but he is following all the religious principles, and he is a Vaishnava also. Like everything is in align with Vaishnava, being a great Vaishnava, a pure devotee. That's the reason later on he became a Mahajan. Is my understanding correct?
Yeah, in a way, yes, Mataji. Because see, Bali Maharaj earlier he was simply a demon, a king of the demons. He had fought with the Indra, that the demigods, and from the side of Indra, even Lord Vishnu was fighting. So at one point of time, he was fighting against the demigods and even against the Lord Vishnu, Bali Maharaj. So as a passionate king, when he got the kingdom of heavenly kingdom, then to maintain that kingdom, he was conducting these sacrifices. These sacrifices were normally conducted by the kings to attain heavenly, abode, or to be able to, conduct his kingdom properly, like that. So Sukracharya had engaged Bali Maharaj to conduct 100 sacrifices so that he becomes more and more powerful and able to, protect his heavenly planet, which Bali Maharaj had taken from, Indra and his associates. So Bali Maharaj was simply conducting sacrifice for this only. But Lord knew very well that Bali Maharaj also has a person in himself who can be a devotee also. His surrender in this instance, this exhibited his devotional qualities. Here he became famous as a devotee. More than as a king of the demons, he became more famous as a devotee of the Lord after this instance. So he is actually a king originally, a demonic king, in fact. But then, by the mercy of Prahlad Maharaj, let me Yes, include one comment here that it was the mercy of Prahlad Maharaj that made Bali Maharaj a devotee. Because if you go in the previous verses, when Bali Maharaj had been bound like this, Prahlad Maharaj came there. Even before that, when Bali Maharaj attacked the heathens, then Prahlad Maharaj had blessed Bali Maharaj. But the blessing of a devotee and blessing of the Lord, it comes in different form. Different form means it does not come in the form of a material benediction. So when there was going to be blessing of Prahlad Maharaj, it was not only going to be like Bali Maharaj getting heavenly planets. It was going to be in some spiritual form, and that blessing acted on Bali Maharaj, and he became such a surrendered devotee. So Prahlad Maharaj himself is a Mahajan, and this great grandson is also a Mahajan. So it was blessing of Prahlad Maharaj actually, which was working on Bali Maharaj. Otherwise, Bali Maharaj, so he was simply a king only. He was a king only of the demons that too.
So in the middle of crisis, because of his blessings, he was able to withstand all the crisis and was able to surrender to the Lord, isn't it?
Yes, Mataji. There are so many comments by the acharyas, and I hear from the senior devotees also. These were simply the blessings of Prahlad Maharaj on Bali Maharaj.
Okay, Prabhuji.
That in such challenging
Eternally
situations,
grateful to you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for answering and having so much of patience. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Pitambar Prabhuji, please go ahead with your question, Prabhu. Hare Gol.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Hare Krishna, Haridas, Thakur, Prabhu, my Dandavats to you, Prabhu.
my
Thank you
humble
so much.
obeisances.
My obeisances to you, Prabhu. What a nice class, Prabhu. What a very, very wonderfully explaining all the nuances of this loka. So, Prabhu, when you were explaining at the same time when you answered Radha Jyoti Mataji's question, I came up with 3 questions, and that rotates around Bhagavad Gita 9.29. Bhagavad Gita 9.29 says, Sammoham sarvabhutesu name dvesyosti na priya ye bhajanti tuma bhaktya mayi te tesu chakyam. And the translation goes, I envy, Krishna says, I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. I am equal to all. But whoever renders service unto me in devotion is a friend, is in me, and I am also a friend to him. So, Prabhu, the 3 questions which I have, which is rotating around this verse, is that the very first question is if Krishna is, how does this whole translation of 9.29 fit into Bali Maharaj's this very sweet pastime, when Krishna on one side he says, I'm equal to all, but on the other side apparently he's taking, as you rightly said, apparently he's taking side of Indra, but in effect he's taking side of Bali Maharaj. So how does this 9.29 fit into this number? That's one. Question number 2, Prabhu, is uh, that when he says, there are 2 types of siddhas, sadhana siddha and kripa siddha. You very well explained, Prabhu, that Bali Maharaj is a kripa siddha because Prahlad Maharaj, the grandfather, blesses him. But his own, uh, of Bali Maharaj's own, we see that Bali Maharaj was involved very passionately in usurping the 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 kingdom, even of someone, which property doesn't belong to him, even Indra's and everywhere, and he was usurping out of the mode of passion. So how do we think that Bali Maharaj was rendering services, because 9.29 says that but whoever renders service unto me in devotion is a friend. Now here Bali Maharaj was not, he was in a grabbing mode, he was in the mode of passion, except I understand that Prahlad Maharaj has blessed him. So Prabhu, how do we connect the dots here? uh, vis-a-vis 9.29. Hare Krishna.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. Yes, in 9.29, Lord says that I do not envy anyone, I do not favor anyone, but anybody who worships me with devotion, I dwell in him and he dwells in me. Elsewhere in Bhagavatam also, Lord speaks to Durvasa Rishi, that's sadhu hirdam mayam sadhu nam hirdam kam. Madannate nanayanti naham tebhyo managapi. I dwell in the hearts of sadhus, and sadhus dwell in my heart. Sadhus do not know anyone other than me, and I also do not know anyone other than the sadhus. Lord also says the same thing there. But actually, what comes out over here, if we analyze the whole situation, when the sacrifice is being, performed, Bali Maharaj is simply, in the mode of passion, and he's conducting sacrifice under the guidance of Sukracharya and his appointed Brahmins, uh, just to maintain his kingdom. Before that, there is nothing like devotion that we can see in Bali Maharaj. But actually, if we see where from this devotional quotient came in, it was simply from the blessings of Prahlad Maharaj. If somebody is favored by, like I was reading yesterday, only Prabhupada said that if a pure devotee of the Lord says that I will take you to, you know, back home, back to Godhead, then Lord is bound to fulfill this promise of the pure devotee of the Lord. So if Prahlad Maharaj had given blessing to Bali Maharaj, then Lord was going to, in a way, uh, let's say, fulfill that desire of Prahlad Maharaj. Because Lord is bound by the desires of his devotees. Prabhupada, today only there was a quote by Prabhupada. Prabhupada said this, that if a pure devotee says that I will take you back home, back to Godhead, then Lord will take him back to God. So simply, there was blessings of Prahlad Maharaj, and Prahlad Maharaj blessed, but a pure devotee will always bless his soul in his pure intent only, in the sense that he will not like to give any material benedictions. Because when Bali Maharaj has been bound by the Varun Pass, there Prahlad Maharaj arrived. And Bali Maharaj, he was in tears to see Prahlad Maharaj. He offered his obeisances to Prahlad Maharaj. Lord offered obeisances to Baman Dev. Sorry, Prahlad Maharaj offered obeisances to Baman Dev there. And Prahlad Maharaj spoke to Baman Dev saying that you have shown your actual mercy on Bali Maharaj by binding him, by making him bereft of all possessions there. So Prahlad Maharaj knew that what actual mercy is. A devotee knows this thing. So when he blessed Bali Maharaj, so he did not bless that he can maintain the heavenly planets. He would have blessed that he ultimately becomes a devotee of the Lord. Because otherwise Bali Maharaj is king of demons. And demons are known for not being friendly to the demigods who are not even the pure devotees of the Lord. So demons are known for fighting against the religious principles. And Bali Maharaj was king of demons before that. But everything changed when Bali Maharaj attacked the heaven, but there was blessing of Prahlad Maharaj. And even when he is bound, then Prahlad Maharaj comes there, and then Prahlad Maharaj says the same thing to Lord Vamandev, that you have actually shown the correct mercy on the Prahlad, on Bali Maharaj, because anybody who has these material possessions, he is bound to be puffed up by false ego. He is bound to be puffed up by false ego, and a person who is puffed up by false ego, he cannot be your devotee. So you have actually shown the right favor to Bali Maharaj. Maybe if any of us had been there, then we would have said, "Oh Lord, it was due to my austerities that you appeared as a nursing dev. Now this is not right on your part to bind my grandson like this. Eh? You should not be so hard on him. Ultimately, he's my grandson, and you know how many austerities I performed." But Prahlad Maharaj did not say anything like this. He simply said this thing: "You have shown the right, right mercy, actual mercy on him by making bereft of all of possessions." So actually, there he becomes a devotee. The heart of Bali Maharaj changes here. Heart of Bali Maharaj changes there. Changes. The Lord also wants to exhibit so many things. Anyway, he is also showing that blessings of a pure devotee like Prahlad Maharaj, can turn a person a pure devotee. He also trying to see that whatever promise I gave to Prahlad Maharaj, that I am going to liberate his 21 generations. And you can see in the second generation only, a devotee like Bali Maharaj is coming up, even in the Asura Kola, that is a demonistic dynasty. So This is what I can understand, Prabhu, frankly.
Thank you
This is
so
what
much,
I can
Prabhu. That's
understand.
wonderful answer. The third question which I forgot to ask you, Prabhu, is uh, connected to this only. I was thinking the pre activities before this surrender, Atmanivedanam. He was in the mode of
Question.
grabbing everything, whether up or wherever. So he because now, but then I was thinking of that Ishopanishad sloka which says that one should not. You should stick to the quota allocated to you, and one should not try to grab someone's property. How does Bali Maharaj, being the grandson of Prahlad Maharaj, do this? Although I understand fully that yes, the demoniacness and nature always is predominant, that they want to grab everything. But this grandson of Prahlad Maharaj trying to grab someone's property. How do I understand, Prabhu? Hare Krishna.
Mode of passion is such a passion only, Prabhu. For example, these kings who are under mode of passion, they are never satisfied. Passion means a person will not be satisfied with whatever possession he has. This is the nature of Rajo Ragatmak Vid, Tisna Sang Samadvam. Bhagavad Gita, Lord says, by mode of passion, there are unsatiable desires. Unsatiable desires. One becomes, attached to fruitive activity. Krishna Sang Samadvam. One becomes very greedy under mode of passion. So we can see the nature of the kings. They are never satisfied whatever they have. They want to widen their kingdom, and so was it with Bali Maharaj also. But ultimately, he being the grandson of Prahlad Maharaj, he was to be blessed like this. He was to be blessed like this. Then it. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. My dandavat to you, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Hare
My
Krishna, Hare
obeisance to you.
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
I see Hemangagupti Mataji has a raised hand and also Radha Jyoti Mataji, but maybe Hemangi Mataji can go ahead and then Radha Jyoti Mataji. Is that okay, Mataji?
Ji Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. Thank you, Prabhu. Such a beautiful class and such a wonderful discussion going on. I was just looking at the text 3 purport where Prabhupada is saying, where Bali Maharaj does not want to be defamed. He has the fear of defamation. And Prabhupada is saying in his purport that the Lord therefore gave him the good counsel to prevent defamation by offering his head. So Lord inspired Bali Maharaj with this idea that put this third step on my head, like on Bali Maharaj's head. So in a way, Lord was being like we were saying 9.29, how Lord kind of favors his devotee. So is it to be understood in that mood, Prabhu, that Lord was actually helping Bali Maharaj in a way?
Actually, Mother, Lord is always the well-wisher of all of us, as we know. And as super soul, he is seated in our heart. And uh, it is according to our purity of consciousness that we are able to, understand the, let's say, uh, consultation of Lord. What Lord advises us, it's according to our purity of consciousness that we are able to understand that. And yes, nothing can happen without Lord inspiring a person, because ultimately whatever a living being do here, it is from the inspiration of the Lord only. Updrashta Anmanta cha Bharta Bhokta Maheshwara Paramatmeti Chapittu Dehesmin Pursapara. In this body, there is another supreme enjoyer who acts as a witness, permitter. So without Lord permission, nothing can happen. So yes, Lord inspired Bali Maharaj like this. Even Lord inspired Sukracharya also. How could Sukracharya know whole plan of Vamandev? Sukracharya knew that this is Vishnu and he is going to take away everything and he is going to give everything to Indra. Sukracharya knew this thing. How does he know this thing? Because Lord seated as Paramatma in the heart of Sukracharya also revealed this whole program to him. So Lord actually reveals the whole program and he advises. That's what Prabhupada is saying. Actually, it is the Lord who inspired. Actually, Lord as I said, he gives advice to all of us, but it is according to our purity and the piety we have earned that we are able to hear this advice. Now that we have turned the devotees or we have taken to devotion, Lord wants to us to become, devotee in every life, or Lord, wants us to turn towards Him in every life. But it is life after life that we are forgetting Lord. But Lord always remains with us as Paramatma feature. So in this life, now that we are turning our face towards Lord, it is because of we have earned some piety. Esam twantagatam papam jananam punyakarmanam. In 720 of Bhagavad Gita, Lord says that when a person spies activities, they become they are prominent, and once sinful activities has been eroded, that one takes to devotional service. So Lord was, yes, rightly inspiring Bali Maharaj in this way, because there was recommendation of Prahlad Maharaj, blessing of Prahlad Maharaj.
Okay, Prabhuji, thank you so much for this beautiful answer. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Radha Jyoti Mata, your hand is raised.
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I was thinking why Prahlad Maharaj gave blessings to Bali Maharaj. Because just because he is also a Mahajan, and he will not give him a blessing because he is in his lineage. Like, he'll not give any blessing on bodily platform, right? He must have done something so that that blessing must have erupted from his heart towards him. So I wanted to know how he blessed him, or for what reason he blessed him. Could you
What we
please?
can understand that one is by nature, somehow one is in any way, howsoever bad one's son may be, but he would not like his son or grandson to go in the hell. There is some seminal relationship also. Like Prabhupada tried best to bring his family into devotion, his son and his wife and everyone. It was only when all roads were closed that Prabhupada left his home. So there can be one more, question. Like Prahlad Maharaj says that I do not see the people suffering in this material world out of passion and ignorance. I am not like those munis who go alone in the seclusion in Himalayas, and they perform austerities just for their own salvation. But I I cannot leave these people rotting in the material world under mood of passion and ignorance. So if Prahlad Maharaj can show compassion on other living beings in the material world, why cannot he show compassion on his grandson? Because it is Prahlad Maharaj's mood only that we are following. Prahlad Maharaj simply said that I am unlike all those sages and rishis who go in the Himalaya in seclusion and perform austerities. I am here to show compassion on all these conditioned souls who are rotting in the material world. So when Prahlad Maharaj is here to show compassion on all conditioned souls, why will he not show compassion on his grandson? He will certainly. Is not it? Yes,
But
Madhavi.
Prabhuji, in our case, if I want a blessing from a pure devotee, what I should do? I will not have any compassion because I don't have Prahlad Maharaj in my lineage. So I was thinking what I should do for getting such kind of blessings to survive in the crisis. Because if we do devotion, there will be crisis. Even if we leave devotion, or we are not in devotion, say material people, non-devotees, they are also facing crisis. In fact, they are facing crisis so much, but they will not surrender. By some God grace, blessings that we came in the bhakti, but even if we face crisis in the bhakti, we need blessings in the time of crisis, right? So how we should, or we will not get just like that. The blessings has to come from our heart, or say out of a real compassion, or I don't know how I should put into.
Krishna has told in
But-
Bhagavad Gita as well in Bhagavatam also there are many instances. The way and means to get blessing of a pure devotee is to serve him with humility. Serve him with humility and please a Vaishnava. If we want to get blessing of Prabhupada, then we must go on his footsteps. Prabhupada wants us to become pure devotee by our sadhana and distribute his books and do everything to preach. So whatever Prabhupada has asked to do, if we do that, then we can get blessing of Prabhupada. Similarly, there are acharyas, current acharyas, or Prabhupada disciples, or grand disciples of Prabhupada, that if we follow in their footsteps or we serve them with dedication, sincerity, and humility, then we can get their blessings. For sure. This is the way to get blessings.
Okay, Prabhuji, my most humble and respectful obeisances at dust of your lotus feet. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for answering. Hare Krishna. Really benefited me.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you so much. I don't see any raised hands or the chat questions. If it is okay, Prabhu, we can end the
Yes,
call here.
we can conclude the session.
Let's pay our obeisance to Prabhuji. Vancha
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Anantakoti
Vaishnavebhyo
Vaishnavijno
ki
ki
jai.
jai. Sadguru
Srimad Bhagavatam ki
Prabhupada
jai.
Jai.
Haridas Thakur Prabhuji
Haridas
ki
Thakur
jai.
Prabhuji ki
Jai,
jai.
jai, jai.
Thank you so much,
Bless
Prabhu, for
assembled
this
devotees,
class.
Surendra,
Nityananda.
Nityananda.
Question.
May
Hari
Hare
Bol.
Krishna bless
Hare
all.
Krishna.
Hari bol, Hari bol.
Hare
Gauranga
Krishna.
Nityananda, Hare Krishna. Thank you everyone for joining today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. We'll meet again tomorrow. Hare Krishna, Lalita Mataji and Dinabandhu Prabhu. Hari bol, Hari bol. Closing the call. Hare Krishna.
Krishna.